Good morning, dear students. Please confirm me once with the text if you are able to hear me clearly. Please do confirm me quickly if you are able to hear me so that I can begin my lecture. Good morning, good morning. So please do confirm me with a text if I am audible to you loud and clear so that I can start my lecture immediately. Okay, good morning, Manajay, Kamlakant, Shivam, Athar, Ayushi, Ria, Shivam, all of you. Good morning, Tanvi, Krishna, Anati. Okay, so audible. Anusri, good morning. So, Anusri, do you think I'm loud enough? Can I continue my lecture? Can I start my lecture? Yes, yes. Because today my mode of speaking to you is different. Today I have used Bluetooth device to be so that I can sort of interact with you. So that is why I'm asking confirmation from you. Okay, so I should. Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Anusri. Thank you, Kamlakant. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's begin. So as you can see right onto your screen, I shall begin with stanza 3. Okay, so as you can see, dear students, Amanda's parents were complaining to Amanda about not to do certain type of work. Again, stanza 3, it is the interaction between Amanda and her parents. Okay, so you can see here, did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. Okay, so this time Amanda's parents, it could be either father or mother, we don't know. So Amanda's parent, you can say, did you finish your homework? First question that the parent asks is, did you finish your homework? Then, did you tidy your room? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda. So in this stanza also, we can understand that there is a sense of doubt in the mind of the parent, okay, whether Amanda has done these or not, right? Whether Amanda has done the homework, whether Amanda has done or tidied the room, her room, or like whether she had cleaned her shoes. So there is a sense of doubt prevailing in the minds of the parent. So it is also complaining in nature, you can say, right? So stanza 3 also we find that Amanda's parent is interacting with Amanda. Amanda's parent is interacting with Amanda, but it is in a complaining mode once again. Inquiry mode, but there is a lot of doubt involved in that, right? So explanation paraphrase you see in this stanza as well, Amanda is given a set of instructions like if she had done her homework, if she had cleaned her room, to clean her shoes. Okay, so these sort of instructions are given to Amanda. Initially, these instructions appear to be normal set of instructions given by every parent, but exclamatory sign in the last line indicates annoyance of our parents. Yes, that this is how we understand, dear students. Like you see, exclamatory sign is given after the third line, after the word Amanda in the third line. So with this exclamatory sign, we can understand that there is some sort of annoyance there in the mind of the parents because they think that Amanda hasn't done such work. Okay, Amanda hasn't done such work. That is why there is a kind of a a doubt prevailing in the mind of the parent of Amanda. That is the reason as to why this sort of instructions, even though appear to be normal, but in reality, in the context of Amanda, they appear to be somewhat complaining in nature, right? Annoying in nature, complaining in nature, right? So that is all. That's all. Third stanza is all about. Now we shall go ahead with the fourth stanza. Okay. So as you can see, dear students, stanza 4 is again different structurally in comparison to stanza 3. See here, stanza 4 is quite different in comparison to stanza 3. Like for example, in stanza 4 is written, I'm an orphan, roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So as you can see, structurally stanza 4 is different. Like once again, let me show you stanza 3. See, stanza 3, there is no bracket. Okay, stanza 3, there is no bracket, right? Only question mark, and here you can see exclamatory sign, right? And but in comparison, stanza 4 it starts with bracket. So when a stanza starts with a bracket, it means that there is no parental interaction in this stanza. There is no parental interaction in this stanza, number one. And number two, here in this stanza also, Amanda has has become lost in the world of her own making. Amanda has become lost in the world of her own imagination. Okay, she is imagining something now. Okay, so her imagination has been expressed in the form of a parenthesis or first bracket, you can say, right? Amanda is imagining herself to be an orphan. I'm an orphan roaming the street. I'm an orphan roaming the street. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. Amanda says that she is like an orphan. She's imagining herself like an orphan who is roaming on the street. And she further says that I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. I pattern soft dust means I am making a pattern of soft dust on the sand, right? I am making a pattern of soft dust on the sand with my hushed bare feet. Why bare feet? Because she has not worn or she has not put on any kind of slipper. Okay, she has not worn any kind of slipper. That is why her feet is bare. Her feet are bare. So I pattern soft dust with my hushed bare feet. She is making a pattern. She is making some pattern of her imagination on the soft dust with her hushed means closed, you can say, hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet. So from the last line we can understand that she is enjoying the kind of freedom that she is imagining for herself. Okay, in her mind, she is imagining for herself a kind of freedom which is very sweet for her. Why? Because in this world of imagination, in this imaginative world of freedom, there is no parental interference. Parents are not interfering in her business. That is why she is saying that her freedom is sweet and the silence is golden. There is a silence. There is silence everywhere. Every roaming onto the street might be very silent. Might be it's early morning or might be at night. So it's not given of course. But she's saying that she is away from her home setting. She is roaming onto a street which is very silent, and that is why she is saying that this silence appears to be golden. It is very, very welcoming for her, as well as the freedom that she is enjoying by being silent onto the street and by playing the role of an orphan onto the street is something, is a kind of a freedom that she feels absolutely, very good about. Okay, so I hope, dear students, you understood this stanza as well. Okay, pattern means here draw pattern, harsh means closed as I told you, and bare means without any slipper or shoes. So let's go through the explanation or paraphrase part of this poem. Amanda yet again is transported in her own imaginary world where she is an orphan girl roaming in the street aimlessly, right? Roaming in the street aimlessly, actually, right? So what kind of a freedom? She's enjoying the freedom that she has somehow managed to make artificially for her in the world of her imagination, right? So she says that Amanda yet again is transported in her own imaginary world, right? Because it is given within brackets, so we can understand that she is transported in the world of imagination, where she is an orphan girl who is roaming in the streets aimlessly. She appears to be very sad in real world. Amanda appears to be very sad. Amanda appears to be very, very sad in real world. Therefore, she escapes in a world of her own making. Therefore, what happens? She is escaping in the world of her own making. She is escaping in the world of her own making. In her own world of freedom, she draws pattern with her quiet bare feet. Hast means here closed or quiet. In her own world of freedom, she is doing something. She is drawing pattern on the dust, soft dust, with her quiet bare feet. In her imaginary world, she is enjoying her freedom without parental interference. That is important. She is enjoying her freedom without parental interference. Right? So, because the parents are very much nagging in nature, very much complaining in nature, so Amanda is enjoying her imaginative world, where she compares herself with an orphan who is roaming around onto the street and making a soft pattern on the soft dust with her bare, closed bare feet, right? And in this imaginary world, she is enjoying her freedom, and she says that her freedom is sweet and her silence is golden. Now let's move on to stanza 5. Dear students, structurally you see stanza 5 is again different from stanza 4, because in stanza 5 there is no parenthesis or there is no first bracket. So it means that in this stanza, Amanda's parents are interacting with her, or Amanda's parent is interacting rather with her. In this stanza, there is no imagination on the part of Amanda, because it is not given within the parenthesis. So let's see what her parent has to say in this stanza. In this stanza, her parents say, "Don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda?" Right? So, don't eat that chocolate, Amanda. One of the complaints that her parent is making is she is asking Amanda not to eat that chocolate which Amanda is used to eating. Remember your acne, Amanda. Acne, you must be knowing, right? Skin disease characterized by pimples, especially on face. As you are having acne, so you don't eat chocolate, that particular chocolate, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I am speaking to you, Amanda? Again, our parent is saying, will you please look at me when I am speaking to you? Okay. So, dear students, from this particular sentence, we can understand that Amanda's parent, one of them is interacting with Amanda, not both the parents together, right? Because me is given here, I is given here. It means one of the parents, either mom or dad. Okay. In all probability, it's mom, I suppose. So will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda? So another complaint on the part of the parent is that when she is interacting with Amanda, Amanda is not making an eye contact with the parent. So that is also one of the complaints from parents and actually, right? So in this stanza, what we have learned? We have learned that Amanda's parent is again complaining, okay? Something or the other about Amanda. What kind of complaint is that? Amanda is again given a set of instructions like not to eat chocolate as she has acne, to look at her parents' face when they are speaking to her. Her parents seem to be indulging too much in the upbringing of their daughter, right? Amanda does not like to be under the CCTV surveillance of her nagging parents all the time, right? Amanda does not like to be always under observation from her parents, right? That is why she is imagining herself a world of her own making, where she has taken the roles of different people at different times, so that she can enjoy her freedom, she can enjoy being separate away from her parents and enjoy that particular state of being alone, right? So we have finished stanza 5, dear students. Now let's move on to stanza 6. So you see, dear students, again stanza 6, when you move on to stanza 6, again it is the same, like structurally it is different. This stanza is within the single inverted comma. This stanza is within the comma. So, uh, it means in this stanza as well, it means in this stanza as well, you can say Amanda is imagining a world of her own making. In this stanza as well, Amanda has, imagined herself, okay, a somewhat different world, okay, like the previous stanzas. In this stanza also, she has transported herself in a world of imagination of her own, where this time she considered herself in the role of a fairy tale character called Rapunzel. Okay, so we'll come to know who Rapunzel is. Let's continue. Um, okay, so as you can see here, Rapunzel is a German fairy tale character who was made to live alone in a high tower and had very long, beautiful golden hair. Okay, she was having a long, beautiful golden hair. She was held captive by a witch called Dame Gathel, who used to come up to the tower by climbing her long hair. Okay, so Rapunzel is a German fairy tale character. Okay, who used to live in a high tower. Okay, and she had a very long, beautiful golden hair. But her golden hair was held captive. She was held captive by a witch called Dame Gathel, who used to come up to the tower by climbing her long hair. Okay, so that is a fairy tale story actually, right? A fairy tale character and her story. Anyway, so here Rapunzel, why is the reference, or you can say it is a figure of speech called, dear students, allusion. Always remember, it is a figure of speech called allusion. Allusion. Okay, it's a figure of speech. Allusion means whenever the poet takes reference of a particular character from mythology or from fairy tale or from Bible or from Ramayana, Mahabharata, Gita. Okay, so these particular reference is called allusion. So here the poet has made reference of an allusion here, and that is an allusion from a fairy tale. Okay, from a fairy tale. Okay, so this is a figure of speech. Rapunzel is a figure of speech here, which is called allusion. So here, in presently, Amanda, in her world of making, considers herself to be a Rapunzel. Rapunzel. Okay, I have not a care. See, Rapunzel was having her complete freedom in the tower where she used to live, except for the fact that she was occasionally disturbed by a witch called Dame Gathel, because she was held captive. Captive means she was held inside the prison, you can say. Okay, held inside the prison. She was hypnotized, or you can say she was made she was under the spell of. She was under the spell of a witch called Dame Gathel. Okay, except for this particular fact, Rapunzel was living in her tower all alone and enjoying her freedom. Okay, till that witch came and disturbed her. So that is why the poet has made reference of Rapunzel here, because to show that Rapunzel, like to show that Amanda, like Rapunzel, also wants to live a life of her own, away from her parents, somewhere else, like Rapunzel did in a tower, right? Life in a tower is tranquil and rare. Tranquil means very peaceful. Okay, tranquil means calm and quiet. That is called tranquil. So, life in a tower where Rapunzel used to live was very much tranquil, was very much calm, was very much quiet. Therefore, Amanda compares herself with Rapunzel, okay, so that she has a tower of her own where tower of her own and she's enjoying the peaceful state of existence in that tower, right? And but Amanda says that I will certainly never by let down my bright hair. But unlike Rapunzel, I am not. I am not going to. Matlab, I'm not going to be like Rapunzel. Okay, Amanda says, but with the exception that I will not allow my hair, my bright hair, to be let down by anybody. Okay, so except for the fact that I shall not allow my hair to go under the spell of somebody, except for that fact, I would like to be like a Rapunzel. Why? Because I would like to live in a tower like Rapunzel did. I would like to enjoy the freedom and state of peacefulness that Rapunzel was having inside her tower. But like Rapunzel was allowing her hair to be held captive by a witch. Okay, I shall not let down my bright hair. I shall not allow anyone to make bad use of my bright hair. Okay, so except for the hair factor, I would like to be like a Rapunzel. So this is what Amanda thinks in this paragraph, in this stanza. Amanda imagines herself to be a fairy tale character called Rapunzel, who seems to have no worry. Like Rapunzel, she imagines herself living in a tower, the life of which is calm and quiet, and is also. But like Rapunzel, Amanda would not allow anyone to use her bright hair. Okay, Rapunzel used somebody to use her bright hair, but Amanda will not allow anyone to use her bright hair. Okay, so that's all about stanza 6. Hopefully, dear students, you have understood stanza 6. Now, we are proceeding towards stanza 7. Okay, we are proceeding towards stanza 7. As you can see here, it is the last stanza, dear students. Structurally, you see here, stanza 7 is different from stanza 6, right? Stanza 7 is different from stanza 6 because here there is no first bracket or there is no parenthesis. Okay, it means that in this stanza, Amanda's parent is again interacting with her. So this time, what kind of interaction is taking place? Let's find out. Stop that sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone would think that I nagged at you, Amanda. Okay. It's very obvious that Amanda's parent is complaining. She's complaining in a very open manner actually at this moment. Okay, she's saying, stop that sulking. Sulking means becoming angry or getting upset about something. So stop being upset about something. Stop being upset at once, Amanda. Don't be short-tempered. Stop that sulking at once. You are always so moody, Amanda. That is also very complaining in nature. Anyone would think that I nagged at you. Nagged means I irritated you. Anyone would think that if they hear our conversation or if they hear what I am interacting with you, they will, or he or she will think that I am nagging at you. But I am not nagging at you. I am not irritating you. It is my concern for you. It is my concern for you. That is how Amanda's parent has presented herself in front of Amanda. But actually, it might be a concern for her parent. But this concern is something which is not suggested for the upbringing of a child actually, right? This particular concern on the part of the parent is not suggested by the writer, by the poet. That is why he has made this poem. And Amanda is one of she is the metaphor for all the girls who suffer from too much parental interference, too much parental nagging, okay? Over possessiveness, or you can say, like too much of concern, is also what is not suggested by the poet for parents, okay? The children should be allowed to grow at their own pace. You can look after your children, you can take care of them, you can suggest them, you can find fault with them and make correction, but not always, okay? Not always after, we should not always be after them, okay? Because they have they have some sense of self-respect. They have some self of they like to be left out sometimes. Okay, so this is what Amanda's parent is not doing. That is why the poet wanted to sensitize other parents regarding how to go for upbringing of their own children, right? So that is why this poem has been written, right? So now let's go to the explanation part. Amanda's parents think that Amanda fails to oblige their instructions. Therefore, they are annoyed. Why do you think Amanda's parents are annoyed? Amanda's parents are annoyed because they think that Amanda fails to oblige their instructions. Her parents complain that Amanda is very moody. In their effort to teach their daughter accepted norms of behavior in the society, parents think that they are responsible enough. But in the process, they have snatched the identity of the child. Thus, the child lives in her own world and longs for freedom. Okay? So, that is very important. This paragraph is very important, dear students. Okay? Accepted norms of behavior. Okay? What is that, dear students? What is the meaning of accepted norms of behavior here? Let me tell you. Like, Amanda's parents are unnecessarily too much concerned about Amanda. Right? So, Amanda's parents are focusing on teaching Amanda accepted norms of behavior in the society. So, what is the accepted norms of behavior in the society? Like, you should behave in a particular manner. Like, when you are with your friends, you must behave in a particular manner. Okay, when you are in the company of teachers, you should behave in a particular manner. When you are in the school, when you are at home, when you are at a social gathering, your way of behaving with people should be different. And we have some accepted norms of behavior which every parent wants us to adopt and sort of demonstrate as well, right? To sort of imbibe in us such accepted norms of behavior, right? So the poet is saying that in the process of explaining Amanda or teaching Amanda a particular set of behavior, accepted behavior, Amanda's parents are, nagging her, irritating her actually, okay? This is not the way to teach a child the accepted norms of behavior in the society. You can teach a child accepted norms of behavior in a very different manner, okay, very different manner, and observe what they're doing. Instead of that, Amanda's parents are always reminding her that you should do this, you should do that, you are supposed to do that, why did you do that, you are not supposed to do like this, you are supposed to do like this. So this is how Amanda is getting nagged. Amanda is getting irritated by her frequent parental interactions, right? So that is what is the concern that the poet has raised in this poem. The poet says that a child has to learn accepted norms of behavior, but there is a way out. There is a way how you can teach your child. Okay, not always be after her, because if you always be after a child, then a child feels burdened, the child feels unhappy, and the child will look for some other means of let out in the form of being silent, or in the form of making a world of his or her own imagination. The child will not enjoy your company. The child will make a different world in which he or she will live and will remain withdrawn from you. So there are so many side effects or after effects, you can say, of being too much, being too much after a child, right? Okay. So next you see, but in the process they have snatched the identity of the child. Okay, then child self-esteem becomes low, child confidence becomes low, the child feels sad. So in the process, Amanda's parent is snatching the identity of the child. Thus the child lives in her own world, and as a result of snatching the identity of the child, Amanda's Amanda is living in her own world and she is longing for freedom. So how do you know Amanda makes the world of her own making? She makes the world of her own making by imagining herself in a different world and by taking up the roles of different characters. Okay, like firstly, she took the role of a, we saw, she first took the role of orphan, right? And before that, she considers herself a mermaid. Initially she takes the role of a mermaid. Secondly, she takes the role of an orphan. Thirdly, she takes the role of Rapunzel, right? So this is how she keeps taking the role different times of different characters, okay, so as to enjoy freedom, okay, enjoy freedom, and so as to be away from the thought of her parents, okay, so as to take a break from the world where she lives, right? Now let's recapitulate this poem before we eventually wind up this lesson. Okay, let's recapitulate, dear students. The poem highlights the issue of upbringing a small child, Amanda. Right? The poem highlights the issue of upbringing a small child, Amanda. The poet seems to suggest that in the process of disciplining a child, parents should never snatch the freedom and identity of a child. Okay, so that is the message by the poet, that in the process of parenting a child, parents should not snatch the freedom and identity of a child. That is very important. Okay, in a bid to make the child become acceptable in the society, parents have made her a slave to their arbitrary wishes. Okay, parents have made Amanda slaves to their arbitrary wishes, right? Like Amanda doesn't know anything. Amanda is yet to learn many things. So thus, Amanda's self confidence has become down. Become low. Her self esteem has become low. So this is what you are not supposed to do. Okay. Anyway, her imagination is not given enough space. Okay. Amanda is not given enough freedom. Therefore, the child wishes to be mermaid, orphan, fairy tale character, Rapunzel. Right. That is why she wants to be sometimes mermaid, sometimes an orphan, sometimes a fairy tale character, Rapunzel. The continuous nagging on the part of her parents has made her get lost in the world of her own making, where there is enough freedom for her. Understood? Continuous nagging on the part of her parents. Okay, you do this, you do that, do this, do that. Okay, so that nagging on the part of her parents has made her get lost in the world of her own making, and where there is enough freedom for her. Right. So that is why you can find her to be getting lost in the world of her own making, sometimes playing the role of a mermaid, sometimes Rapunzel, sometimes orphan, right? So, dear students, that's how the poem comes to an end. I have answered a solution for you. You can read them once and then write on your own language, okay? So, dear students, that's it for the day. So, before we eventually wind up our lesson today, please do mark your presence by texting me P so that I can take your attendance later on, okay? So, dear students, that's it from my end. And if you have any query regarding the poem, any kind of query regarding any word, phrase, or sentence, or any concept, you are most welcome to ask me questions, okay? You are most welcome to ask me questions. And at the same time, you can also text me your presence. Very good. Okay, very nice. And dear students, all of you, please do join the corporate Mumbai seminar sharp at 10 o'clock. Okay. Now you have your breakfast. If you haven't had your breakfast, take your breakfast. If you haven't had your what is that called, bath, you can take bath and quickly join the webinar. Okay. Please do join the webinar. It is very important for you to join because one lady will address you. She's a very experienced lady. She will address you and she will teach you many things. So please do join the webinar sharp at 10 a.m. We shall also be there with you, okay? So please do join the webinar. Bye-bye. Take care. I'm winding up here my lesson today. Bye-bye.